Hi Madhu, how are you?
Hey, I'm fabulous, Abhi. How are you?
I'm good. Madhu, I'm curious to know why are you wearing a cap today?
I know that's coming, right? So, Melbourne is in lockdown, and obviously, no hairdressers are open. I don't think I've got a choice.
All right, okay. All right, let's
You should
stop
teach
talking
me.
about hair and let's get the show started.
Sure. What's your first recommendation, Abhi?
My first recommendation is a book that you recommended me to read and I really loved it. And this is about transforming habits. Now, Madhu, there are many books on this particular topic. For example, Power of Habits, The One Thing, Change Your Habit, Change Your Life. But my favorite book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This talks about how you can build good habits and break bad ones.
Why is this your favorite book, Abhi?
There are many reasons why I really like this book, but one of the key ones is that in this book, he talks about the difference between identity, process, and outcome, which is very, very interesting. I'll quote from the book where James says, "The ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when an habit becomes part of your identity. It's one thing to say, I'm the type of person who wants this, and it's something very different to say, I'm the type of person who is this. The more pride you have in your particular aspect of your identity, the more motivated you will be to maintain the habit associated with it. So, this book covers the concept of building your identity based habit, which is focusing on who we wish to become. And that was really fascinating for me because a lot of time we end up doing certain things, we get motivated, but then the motivation is temporary and then we go back to our old habits. And once you understand this concept, this really helps you to make that transformation.
I completely agree that, Abhi, because to quote a simple example, when someone comes and offers you junk food, rather than you telling them, I am trying to avoid junk food, if you say that I'm a healthy person, then it changes your mindset, it rewires your brain to think that you are a healthy person, you're not going to touch the junk food. Huge difference. Excellent habit.
Absolutely. That's a great example, Madhu. And strongly recommend people to read this particular book. So, Madhu, what's the second recommendation?
Recommendation number 2 is Tom Bilyeu. Tom Bilyeu is the co-founder of the billion-dollar brand Quest Nutrition and the co-founder of the host of Impact Theory. Tom was named one of the Success Magazine's top 25 influential people in 2018, an Entrepreneur of the Year by Secret Encourage in 2016. So you can follow him on LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever social media handles that you are pretty much familiar with. And I've got my favorite video, which I would love to share here, which is Find Your Purpose on Impact Theory with Jay Shetty.
Why do you like this particular video? Why are you recommending this particular video, Madhu?
Yeah, good question, Abhi. So there are 3 key things that I loved in this episode. First one is when Jay Shetty talks about what is an ideal life, right? So he goes on and talks about having head, heart, and hand, everything in sync. So head is around having a clarity or vision of what we want in life and making those decisions. Heart is when we understand our intuition, going beyond the vision that we have painted in our head. This is where the skills of adaptability, the resilience would come into play. And then the hand, which is quite important because it gives back to others in the form of service. So people often say, I'm extremely passionate. That would make you happy. However, if you use your passion to serve and help others, you would have more fulfilling life. That's number 1, having an ideal life. Number 2 is the differences between system 1 and system 2. So if you have read the book from the Israeli author Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow, Jay brings some phenomenal examples to show the differences between system 1 way of thinking and responding and system 2 of more logical way of responding. That's number 2. The last one I would say is opening yourself to new possibilities, right? So a writer and philosopher Cooley said, This is very confusing, guys. So I'll repeat it if it's not clear the first time. I am not what I think I am. I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Right? It blows your mind, right? And that's a wonderful example which Jay says. So the crux is very simple. We all live in the world of perception of echo chambers whilst building our identity. So it could be what my dad thinks, my mom says, what my university friend says of what I should do and read. So he's giving some fantastic examples of opening yourself to new possibilities. So these three are my top picks from that episode, but there are a lot more to go through.
That's fantastic quote, Madhu, and thanks for summarizing this. I'm definitely looking forward to watching this particular episode.
Let's move on to the next one, which is recommendation number 3.
Sure. Madhu, you're talking about Tom Bilyeu. We have to talk about one of the most popular podcasts, which is called Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu. Impact Theory podcast is one of my favorite podcasts. Every time I go for a run, I'm listening to this particular podcast. Tom interviews industries, who's and who's, and talks about so many different topics that you can learn from. There are amazing episodes, and there are many episodes in this particular series. You can start with this episode, which is one of my favorite episodes. This is called Use This Hacks to Upgrade Your Mindset.
We talk about mindset all the time. Yeah. And why do you think people should listen?
In this episode, Madhu, it's kind of a mixed bag where Tom has selected one of the best elements from different episodes and combined them together. Tom, Jay Shetty, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and Sadhguru. And he's taken the best bits out of those episodes, and which you are able to hear in this particular episode. What it focuses is what you can do to take your thoughts and upgrade your mindset and change your life. So that was our third recommendation for this particular episode. I hope you liked it.
Do share your feedback.
Stay safe, stay inspired.